Log into gyroscopeme.com, the hottest online radio station in the world. GS Radio all day, all night, worldwide. Powered by Gyroscope Media Group, LLC.
GS Radio, the best internet radio station worldwide. Providing the best in music and talk shows. Go to www.gsradionj.com and check out the best internet station in the world. You're listening to GS Radio Internet Radio Station powered by GMG LLC.
Yeah. Oh.
Yo.
What's up?
It's falling apart.
Talk. Somebody talk.
It's falling apart.
Yeah. All that.
These podcasts, these shows, situations, they are falling apart. And as Queen said,
and they falling apart because niggas can't keep the studio paid for.
Another one bites the dust. As Queen said, as Joe played, another one bites the dust. Shouts out to Joe. Shouts out to somebody who was really good at music. Celebrity personality, but keeps reinventing himself, which I can appreciate. I can appreciate the music, the social media personality days. Not so much, but Joe Buzz as a podcaster. I'm
Joe
sure
definitely doing his thing.
I'm sure there is something to say about Rory and Maul and all, but shouts out to Joe. Let's go. Let's go, Mr. Two First Names. What's going on? How you feeling there?
Jeremy.
Mr. Two First Names. You still got the bucket on? You still got the bucket on underneath the hood? Am I missing it? What happened?
All right. Well, first of all, there's a disclaimer.
Oh, here we go.
At the beginning of every show. If you watch the show the way it's currently being viewed, see that? If you click this little link that I usually always link to it, you can actually see the show like this, right? Amazing. And there's a disclaimer. This is all cap.
This is all cap.
This is all lies.
Any and everything I say is cap. It's cap in my rap. Okay? Yeah, even my raps.
That's not even a good start.
That's not a good start.
It's not a good start.
Go listen to my raps again. It's cap.
You're not lying.
I am a liar. I'm not even real. I am AI.
I am AI. I am AI.
I am Allen Iverson.
I think I claim to be AI too.
I'm Allen Iverson.
Practice.
Okay? This is not real. None of this is real. Mom, turn this off now. She keep watching. Stop watching this, Mom.
I didn't mean it that way.
Oh, well, who else? Anybody else to address? Now, here's where I want to start real quick. All right, Avery. I'm going to give you a slew of scenarios.
Okay.
And within said scenarios, I want to know your personal opinion.
On multiple instances. Oh, okay.
And before that, I just want to change the narrative on me. I like who likes me. Okay? I used to be a man of shallowness. I used to be a man of preference. Now, if I like you and you like me and we like each other, that's all that matters, okay?
That makes you feel...
I denounce, yeah.
That makes you feel better at that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, here's a scenario, Avery. You ready?
I'm listening.
Let's say you know a guy.
Okay.
And a guy went and got some sort of cosmetic surgery.
Okay.
Do you think that it's okay for you to talk about said instance surgery in front of your other man's girl? Do you think she should know about that? Why should she know about that?
Why should or shouldn't she know about that?
Why would you bring that up to her?
I don't know if I would bring that up. I don't think I associate with I don't know men who've had cosmetic surgery. Maybe I just don't run in those circles.
Listen, I'm just gonna listen. I told you, I'm just gonna. It's all cap.
Okay.
Maybe it ain't. Let's just say,
but
I got a penis reduction.
Reduction.
And Rube go tell our man's girl that I got a penis reduction. Surgery. Why would he tell her that?
Well, how did we? Wow, that escalated fast. that I was not expecting.
I had to.
Wait a minute.
Shout out to everybody waving in the chat.
Somebody's waving at
There's
that.
a lot of hands waves. I'm just saying. How would you feel if your man's did that in front of your other man's girl?
That would be. I don't know. Like that's. I don't even know how.
Why would you even mention that?
Yeah, like I definitely wouldn't mention that, but I don't know if anybody would be comfortable enough to mention that to me. That I don't.
Mom, turn this shit off now.
Yeah. I would say all mothers, but I don't. Wow, there's
a lot of mothers in here.
There's a lot of mothers
waving. I'm waving back at y'all. I'm waving back. Hey.
I don't.
Yeah, I had to go reduce that because it's too much to deal with.
Wait.
So look, I'm just gonna throw a slew of things.
Okay, yeah. Can we move on? Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, should you not volunteer information to your homie's girl?
To all of that I would.
Think who could potentially, if you were a guy to not have
you're running the chance of getting sniped
by one of her friends and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But they shouldn't even know about that.
There were no introductions. This was definitely straight up in there. But that's a rough one. It's a little rough.
Just curious.
I'm not.
There's no way for you to answer that.
Yeah.
Hey, just move on.
What else you got going on?
What else you got going on?
So this is where I want to start off at.
Sure.
Well, you know what? To that, and let's see if we can.
You fell into the trap.
A little bit, but we could pivot. We were talking about podcasts earlier on the lead-in, and we were talking about somebody losing their podcast, and we made mention to Adam 22.
Speaking of podcasts, welcome back to the SOAR Winner Podcast with your hosts Avery and Rube. I'm Sharon. I'm here. Shock's here. And go ahead, complete.
We're all here. You know what we didn't speak about last week about the Adam 22 situation? I forgot his wife he was letting people
porn star, yeah.
Yeah, remember that?
Yeah.
But I forgot about that part. He was letting people knock his wife off on the other side of that building, and it's still in work.
No, you gotta understand that when Adam 22 say the podcast is broke, that don't mean Adam 22 is broke.
I didn't say him,
I'm just saying. Adam's problem was he overextended himself and expanded too fast, too wide, too big.
Yeah, and he tried using his wife to help with right or wrong.
No, he took on a podcast space where that cost $4 million.
And he tried renting out his wife to help expand.
He ain't tried. He's still doing that, but I don't think
Cheese and crackers.
Have either of you ever seen him and his wife's podcast?
No.
It's called Plug Talk. So basically, him and his wife sit there and they interview other porn stars. After they interview the girl, they have sex with the girl. Every time.
Every time?
Yeah.
Whether the conversation goes well or not.
Good or bad. He's going to plug them both. It's in the contract.
Now, mind you got to pay these chicks for this now.
That's what I mean. Like,
you think so, Ruben? You think that they all getting paid? You don't think some of them doing it for the exposure?
No. There's no way. There's no way.
Why?
Because
some of them just OnlyFans girls.
A porn star is offering their professional services. Right. You're going to pay them.
Right.
There's no exposure. They already got the exposure. They porn stars.
Okay, but to that, obviously, he attempted that, and it still didn't work. So you have, and then we had the thing about how we started, where we went but things fell apart for in my expert opinion. Obviously, well, I won't even say obviously. Do you think people are trying to? Where do you think they're making a mistake at? Because obviously there's a lot of things going on.
Expanding too large.
Even in math situation?
Yeah. If math couldn't afford the rent, then you got to downsize. If he don't got the bread to pay the people, then you got to lay people off.
Here's the thing, man. It's all about the contract you set. And this is what I mean, right? When you have situations like that and you have quote-unquote hanger-oners or people that's just there for the aesthetic or just to fill in the background, you got to let them know either you're going to get paid or you're not going to get paid. And I think in his situation, a lot of people that was... Yeah.
Who you talking about?
In math situation.
Math situation, not Adam 22. Math situation.
In math situation, there's a lot of them people... but no, they also said that Adam 22 didn't pay well either. They said that. All of them. Remember AD and those guys that left? Remember the other gangbanger guys that was there? They had left and created their own thing.
I know people had left. I had known from what is this, the So What You Thought podcast. They were saying, he blows the non-existing smoke in the air, which I can appreciate.
Oh,
okay.
He blowing smoke rings that don't exist.
But to that, like what you were just saying, then there ends up being a bunch of people who I don't think have wide appeal. We didn't. Did we really know all those people on the Adam 22? I mean,
they were pop. Well, they
were on the other coast too, so they could have a bigger appeal on the other coast.
And not only that, yeah, that's the big gangbang culture. They have a spin-off successful.
Quite possibly,
they have successful podcasts as spin-off podcasts. As a result, it will be like the equivalent of like Rory and Mal when they left. They still kind of spun off. They doing all right.
Yeah, they doing it. But do you think the Rory and Mal thing is? But do you think the Rory? Well, I mean, I guess I see the success of Rory and Mal because maybe I just tune into that more. I mean, I don't know. I to be very honest, I'm thoroughly entertained by Crip Mac. I think Crip Mac antics are hysterical. I didn't say I agree. I just think
that's too much niggery for Rude.
It's not. No, it's not too much.
It's a lot of foolishness.
Corny, that's all.
It's a lot of foolishness, but it's Howard Sternish. I tune in because I want to see him mess up, or I tune in to see what he's gonna do next. Crip Mac is always doing
he always saying some off the wall shit. Probably.
And he got
That's
like
always wanting to see Charleston White or Orlando Brown.
Like you tune in for the train wreck. Like
for sure. So look, real quick. So last night I found first and foremost, I don't know if you are aware, but a big community of our followers that do follow us were aware that last night and the night before there was a big Vibes Cartel concert. Okay. Are you aware of this?
I did see him making the interview round, so I knew that there was something out and about. Vibes Cartel was the one who was deported and couldn't get? Did he have traveling issues or?
Yeah, traveling issues because he was locked up.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's the thing. Yeah, but he out.
Vibes Cartel was the biggest reggae artist and still is to this day.
Okay.
The day he got arrested for basically having like 40 dead bodies buried in his backyard.
Oh, I didn't know that, but okay.
Neither did I, but some good Jamaican fellas gave me the information way back when. And where I'm getting at, so basically, to put it in a nutshell, he's like if Drake was really Jamaican. He's Jamaican Drake.
He's popular
Drake is fake Jamaican?
Sometimes. At times he is. Yeah.
Okay.
He is. But yeah, he's like that equivalent to the reggae world. And so I watched it.
The concert?
Yeah, because one, I wouldn't have went anyway, but the tickets was crazy. I heard sold out the Barclay twice.
Barclays, okay.
Friday and Saturday. So it was, and I was like, I was living vicariously through the Insta snaps, and I'm like, man, let me go watch this.
So you went to Brooklyn?
Via YouTube, yes.
Okay.
Via YouTube.
Okay. Are you smoking a cigarette or are you smoking a joint like
candy?
In a minute, once I tell you about this concert,
my fault?
this will be a spliff.
Okay. A white one?
That's what it's
Paper.
Okay.
Paper.
From Clyde.
All right.
So I'm watching the Vibes Cartel because, again, before these Jamaicans told me about Vibes Cartel, I didn't know, like, I just didn't know, and I felt like it was like these niggas was like, nah, like, he really that guy.
You like that, yeah.
So, then the concert comes on. I'm like, oh shit. Literally, all the reggae shits you be hearing are him. And here's the thing, he recorded all that shit from jail. He was in jail for 13 years. He never was not the number one nigga.
He was down 13?
13.
I mean, because I remember him being down there.
Well, they must have got no Son of Sam law in
No,
Jamaica.
well, what happened was that. Well, the point was, they got it overruled by England because England actually governs, I guess, Jamaica laws and shit. So that's how they got it overturned. They just, I feel like
Jamaica
if they would
has their
have
own
been,
passport,
and I
though.
feel like if they would have
Their
been
own
did that, he would have probably been got out. And I don't know who just had that genius idea one day, but yeah, he made his rounds. I watched him on the Breakfast Club. He had an interview with Lisa Evers, because she was one of the people that reached out to him. He was talking, he showed love to everybody that held him down while he was in jail. He shot out Busta Rhymes a lot. I seen Busta Rhymes at Busta Rhymes performed last. I'm sure Busta Rhymes performed.
So
Friday.
everybody just ignored that he got arrested for having 40 bodies in his backyard.
Well,
Like,
see, so that's
none
the
of
thing.
that matters.
So
You cool, so none of that matters.
Here's the thing: how he explained it, and this is how I got to understand it too. He was speaking just on his influence alone. He was like, for example, when he started bleaching his
Yeah, I
skin,
was gonna say, is this the one
everybody
who was
started.
bleaching
And now he's back. He's back.
Yeah,
the
that's
color
what
of
was
Ruben.
messing me up because
He's back.
I
Yeah.
thought he was at the.
And then while he was in jail, he had bad heart complications, health complications with, I forget which the complication was that made his face swell up or whatever, but he had that too. Now it's been going down since, but he's actually dark skinned again.
Yeah,
because
there was a lot of better stated. I seen stories about people from Jamaica who were bleaching their skin or whatever, and I do remember them saying it coming back to. And I'm guessing that was. I'm not sure. I don't really want to speculate or whatever, but I do remember that being I do remember that being a thing. But then to that, the person who I seen for the promotions for the interviews and everything, fair brown skin, like
it went away, or I guess I don't know.
He got unbleached.
Yeah,
So
I didn't even know it was reversible.
to Rube's point. So
What
did he go to jail for?
So So this is why he went to jail for. His influence was as big or not bigger than Bob Marley's influence. So remember, it's different. The culture shit different.
Not the 40 bodies.
They call it influence. So what I'm saying is, he may have beef with somebody, and because the people that's gonna ride with him gonna go do it. It ain't him telling people to go do it. He's that powerful of a figure.
Yeah, I could
there. And you gotta remember, this is a whole different. This is third world country.
So how his
know
people
if
that
he
ride
could
for him, how did they find out he got a problem with somebody? They just
They hear it because
They just guess?
because in that culture, everything in the music, he's saying, "Yo, me and you would be Rubaman, and I'm Ronnie Man,
who?
Rubman Randman." Right,
How do
and the Jamaicans go back and forth on songs. It's like battling. It's just like the battles. They do the same thing, and some of that shit get taken seriously. And
it's still his fault.
Nah.
again,
I
it's the
can't say that.
influence. What I just say is his influence. So that's what it was. Is his influence. They basically say wherever he say to do, they'll do. If he say wear this, they're gonna all wear this. If he could say everybody jump
So
in the beach, it's different in the culture, bro. I can't explain it because we're not those.
No,
we're not
I
that.
get it. It sounds like some mob shit where like, you.
It is like some mob shit,
I
but
get that
he's not
part,
ordering the
but-
shit, is what I'm saying. But they found some shit in his phone, and
But
that's
how
what
can you
actually.
not say you not All right.
No, so there was this thing. There was something in his phone that they found. It not pertaining to the 40 bodies buried in his backyard.
Yeah, well,
and that's what ultimately got him.
I think his backyard makes it crazy. Now, but to that, I don't know how this land thing goes. If we're talking about your land is here and whatever, there's a field adjacent to your. So we don't. I don't know that. But
if me and Ron got a problem,
hold on for a second. I wanted you to finish your point though. No, because you were on to saying something. I wanted you to finish your point.
That's what I'm saying. If me and Ron got a problem, right, and I'll go and write a rap about blah blah blah, get Ron.
It's a rhythm, brother. A rhythm. You got to write a rhythm.
I don't know what he's talking about.
And you go off and say, all right, well, he got a problem with Ron, and then you go off Ron.
But that's not. But you're not accountable for me.
No scared business here.
No. But
we don't do scared
honestly,
business.
If
we bring it to your front porch, to your porch.
If that is the case, then
no pussy clad.
You accountable
scared.
for me being a goofy because you got influence.
If I know you're gonna go do that, then yeah.
I mean, but to that is the gangster rap thing. Like that's not. You still are accountable.
So listen,
for your
this is
own
what they do.
actions.
So then they do what's called a clash.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
Listen, guys.
I'm not disagreeing with
So
that.
after the songs are made, this is when they pon the clash. They go on stage and they battle each other.
You are embarrassing whoever
loves you.
It is from that great Jamaican culture. And they do kiss their teeth, suck their teeth like they
look at me like me damn fool.
No, you
Boom boom star.
Pussy star.
I kill for nothing.
You pussy star.
Number one, never the two. Never the two.
They're going to pull you.
Never the two.
Pull you to the side and have a conversation with you about this.
Never the two.
About this artificial accent. But to that, once again, 40 bodies in your backyard. I'm not.
There's no way you don't know there's 40 bodies in your backyard.
No, it's no way you get 13 years for 40 bodies.
Yeah.
That is
well, he was supposed to still be in there. He got out after serving 13 years.
Yeah, after this great shit we talking about. Well,
yeah,
we can't be
let him out
for these niggas killing it. Are you sure about that?
But really? Yeah, that's a.
He's worth way more money to them.
Quite possibly, he could.
I just think Jamaica politics is corrupt as all hell.
It's super corrupt.
Aren't they all?
And I think that got part of him. And I think that's part of him getting out. They know how much money he's generating and can't be touched because he's in jail.
He could boost the economy. I mean, I don't know. I couldn't name a song, but at the same time, I probably would know it if it came on. But I couldn't name the song. But obviously, like I said, he was
fever. Mayu. When did
the shoulders come and go?
My youth.
What else we got going on?
He got that. He got mashes with Spice. I didn't know. She's the queen of that. He's the king. She's the queen. No, I didn't know until I watched it last night.
She was one of the ones who was bleaching her skin too.
No, she faked it. She did that. She put fake bleach and went on Love and Hip Hop and see how they was gonna treat her differently and shit. Because she was.
I was like, no.
Now let me say this: she was mad, extra ugly, light skin.
Extra ugly, light skin.
It don't go with everybody.
And
it didn't fit her at all.
And as we move on to things that are happening on television,
what else we got going on?
The 106 in Park.
That is a blood clot hoax. It was from April Fool's, man. You should read the blood clot group chat, man.
No, I read it, but then
it's a hoax, man.
The whole thing was a hoax.
They can't afford Kaiser Nat, man.
I wouldn't think you.
They cannot afford him. He can afford BET himself. In blood clot self can afford BET.
The accent is killing me, and isn't Kaiser not from Caribbean? Yeah, he's from the Caribbean too. I don't know about more smoke. But
I see a lot of hate on him though. I do see a lot of hate on Kaiser. I don't understand the hate on him.
Well, he's a fat pussy.
Wait a minute, that was aggressive. That was where did all that aggression come from? I think. Where do you see the said hate coming from?
Because I don't think people respect what he do.
They
don't respect streaming. People don't respect that as a.
If the money came in, the money came in. Though
I'm with you. But
I
you
don't
got a lot
I
of
don't like how you youths brush past the world boss. We were still talking about the world boss.
Dude, Vibe Cartel, the world boss.
World boss.
So talk more about it. So let me know more about it. Do they wear buckets under the hoods like that?
It's not the discussion. It's not the discussion.
It's,
My youth.
it's bothering
My
you, Roof.
Pay attention, my youth. Pay attention, my youth. World boss came out. No one sat down. The whole time.
Yeah.
The whole time.
How long was it? How long?
Everybody
was the show?
sung every word to every blood clot rhythm.
But it's
Every-
Brooklyn though.
Every
Brooklyn
word.
is the Caribbean.
Brooklyn is little Jamaica. Like
No, it's all of it.
Every blood clot rhythm. They knew. No one sat
little,
down.
it's little
No
Israel,
one sat
little
down.
Jamaica,
Jam pack.
little
Sold
Dominican
out.
Republic.
It is. It's New York Caribbean. It really is. Which I mean, it's beautiful culture. I mean, I like Brooklyn. I really do. I
Busta
enjoy
Rhymes
it.
showed up.
But,
Like
we
I said,
knew that,
Spice. Couple other
And
people.
Busta Rhymes showed up in a skirt.
though. Chill regular.
You know, vibes don't like that.
Chill regular. You look like you want to say something else.
He probably did.
If Busta and them run up on Rube, that's on
Oh,
Rube.
the voice is
It's
over.
on
Joke.
Rube. It's on
Joke
Rube.
is over.
It's on Rube. It's on him.
To what we were saying about Kai.
Yeah, I don't think people respect the streaming and it being a form of entertainment. They see it as juvenile, and they just don't like.
Ruben is
The amount of
simple. It's the Nick Cannon scenario. They don't like him because he's corny. Just say it.
Well, obviously he's not.
It's
corny.
because he's
What do you
right,
mean?
exactly, and apparently neither the fuck is Nick Cannon too. They both stupid
I
rich.
never thought.
It's
well,
the
I
thing.
never thought Nick Cannon was.
A lot, but that was
Corny.
the thing about him, and that's the thing about Casanat that
No,
people
they
just won't
thought
say.
Nick Cannon raps was corny.
No,
not
they thought
him
Nick
as
Cannon is a
personality.
corny guy. They think he's a corny guy. It's a corny guy list. Trust me, he was one of them.
I think they're more. And I
Still
know a
jealousy.
little bit less about Kai Sanat. But what I will say, I think that they are very straight edge, very likable, very bring home to your mother-ish or whatever may have.
Well,
you.
yeah, but see, when you actually tune into his streams or whatever, this man is out there entertaining people. Like he's really like it's not like he's just sitting there like let's say act or whatever with this, that, and the third. He's literally out here making what did they call it in the movie, scenes. Like he's making he did a whole stream. He was playing a Batman game or whatever. He turned the whole room into a Batman cave.
I mean,
had Robin with him. Did a whole skit.
Where'd he get Robin from?
His boy did a whole skit. Had a whole skit where he rescued some other streamer. Like he's actually doing stuff to entertain people, and I don't understand
But why
the
do you,
hate though. I just don't.
Okay, but so, which I guess what I'm trying to say is I can understand that it's a new thing, and whether it's a fad, a trend, or whether it's here to stay. Right now, he's able to cash out now.
Man, that
But-
man got how many followers does this guy? Bro?
But to that, in which these people are paying him for that, but to that and not being able to respect the society respecting what these people are doing, do you think that has an influence on what I sent you with the young lady, being that she can't take care of herself, maybe because she wants to make money in the realm of not going out to work or not being in the young lady who cannot shower because she has to go to work. I mean, because is this not all in the new class of things? There was a lady to the internet.
You could have just put the clip to the mic for all that.
I mean, I could do that too, but
Yeah.
but to that, there's a young lady. Let's see if we could pull it up, who is speaking about.
the boy has.
on your teeth now.
Oh man, great ad.
To say this out loud and put it online, but I
I know that I'm not the only person going through this. I've almost been fired from every job that I've ever had, and it's not because I'm not smart. I actually tend to overperform in the beginning. It's just that after some time, I inevitably burn out once I wake up one day and realize that I haven't taken a shower in like 3 weeks. It's really frustrating because I know that I'm an intelligent person and I've been able to accomplish a lot of really amazing things in my life, but I still can't manage to take care of myself. And it's not just a matter of not trying hard enough or not being disciplined. If I could take care of my basic needs and work full time, I would have fucking done that by now and then
So
some.
it's a job fault.
It's a form of self-sabotage to honestly be putting so much energy into these executive functioning skills at work and not have anything left to give myself. So I quit my job because it's like I would deadass wake up at 5 a.m., pace back and forth, start working at 7, finish work at 6, eat, sleep for dinner, and then crawl in bed at 8 o'clock. And it's like a part of me does feel insane by quitting at the verge of a recession, but it's like if I actually want to build a future for myself and get there in one piece, taking care of myself has to become my full-time job.
I want to hear what you have to say. But to that, and to you saying that there is no respect for how Kai Cenat goes about things, is it this culture where everybody wants to be able to monetize their lifestyle? Why don't you think that it's unacceptable in some realms of the hate that you say he's getting or whatever?
Because I see.
Do you think it's people like this who want to be in that world where?
No, she wants to be dirty. There's plenty of time. She wants to be dirty. She has a problem. She has plenty of time to wash her ass. All right, it's not the job's fault that she can't wash her ass. I refuse to believe that shit. You have 2 jobs. I got a job where I get up at 5 in the morning. I start work at 7 in the morning, and I can wash my ass. Everybody in this room could take care of themselves and wash their ass and work a full-time job. There's no excuse for that. I don't know what she's talking about.
Blood clot pussy funky.
That's exactly what it is. It smells like straight. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear that, yo. Something wrong with her. There's something mentally wrong with her.
She said for 30 days straight, so that means
A
she had
month?
her period and everything. She
A month,
funky.
bruh?
I mean, I think that's.
Boom.
And if I was her
Blood.
manager and I smell her ass, I would fire her. Like, I can definitely fire you.
Don't sit on
for
these
smelling
seats.
like that.
Don't sit on these seats. But
That's a personal hygiene. You could be fired for bad personal hygiene.
you certainly can. But I guess where I'm trying to catch a tie-in or see where
I think people with the tie-in with Casanat, I
Is
think
it-
it's just pure jealousy. The man, I'm looking at his follower list. The man has 17 million followers
On what?
on Twitch. 17 million followers.
but so
To some people, that matters none.
yeah.
No, some people that matters none, but if you want to sit here and be jealous of that just screams jealousy.
I guess when you say jealous,
It's got to be a skill to entertain 17 million people.
I don't know if it has to be a skill, but it just is something that and to speak personally, it's not that I'm jealous. I just don't care.
Okay.
It's just
That's not your cup of tea, and that's fine.
Yeah, but I'm not. But to that, there's a generation that does care. So in which that I'm cool with.
He
Okay,
has
so
a whole
let me
say
generation
this.
that grew up with
Yeah.
him.
So let me say this. So I kept hearing. So I had to see for myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually seen when he did the jail shit.
Yeah.
That shit was
Let me
funny.
say this. Hilarious. He had Drewski in them in jail with him.
Yeah,
they rented.
Christian
They had
Rock.
some. Yeah, they Krishan Rock. Offset was in there. It's just mad people in the abandoned jail, I guess, and they was acting like they was really in jail.
All they did was rent out.
Shit was
they rented
hilarious.
out,
Shit was hilarious,
like a
bro.
large space or whatever.
Shit
and then
was
they
hilarious.
They just built a studio that looked like a jail.
No,
and it was just
it was
stupid.
an old abandoned jail.
Oh, all right.
But to that, what
Now that
is
was
it-
creative though. It was
which
funny.
I'm once again I'm cool with that. But what is it that makes people who are of which
That's why I don't know.
What is it that are people of this said generation that okay he went out to go get it like that And then you have someone of the same generation saying she can't go to work and take a shower every
My
day.
nigga, he literally live streams his showers.
For 24 hours,
He can
yeah.
fucking shower and
He sleeps on the
entertain
stream, too.
17
And he
million
be sleeping
people.
on the shit.
She can go to work. And, you know what I'm
Now,
saying?
now,
No,
mind you, Avery,
do
you
I
gotta
know? Yes, I
notice,
do.
Avery, while he's doing all this, he's getting donations, he's getting paid per view and donations simultaneously. People pay him for
Ridiculous
this
I
lunch.
think that, but to that, I think that what the part that I think that maybe I'm not I won't say that y'all are missing as much as I'm not. Maybe I'm not communicating it well because what is it? Do you think there are more people of this generation to be like, well, why can't I function like that? Why shouldn't I be able to instead of going to work?
No.
Shouldn't people be paying me to go do these things? And it's
No.
no. It that works for him. It don't necessarily work for you. Like,
Exactly. So no, you go and get you a job. You can't do what he do.
I'm very much so a fan of because people like to say things like I know my worth. Your worth for somebody ready to pay you for. People like to say things like I know my worth. Look, if they not gonna pay you that, then that's not what. And I get it. You feel like you got a good product, but now you got to go out there and get somebody who's ready to finance that or ready to pay you what you said. What you think that is worth or whatever may have you. I mean, I don't know if it's a thing where we're at a time where people overestimate
Their worth.
their contributions. Maybe. I mean, I'm not sure, but I know that these two people who seems to be on two different ends of the spectrum, they're not the only ones. I think there's a lot of people out there who don't want to work.
I am one of them.
But you go to work though.
Because he realized, he got to do what he got to do. But that's come on now. There's no excuse not to wash your ass for 30 days.
That's
I ain't
crazy.
trying to hear that shit.
That's crazy.
And next, what else?
That's
we got
crazy.
going
That's
on?
crazy. Now, Mr. I don't. What are you going? Mr. Two First Names. I'll just go with that. Mr. Two First Names did make mention to Jordan's daughter being escorted out of. You laughed at that?
I don't. Wait, what? I didn't even know he had a daughter. But go on.
Out of the Rolls Royce dealership.
I did.
I just know
You
he-
sent that to me.
I just know he had a coked up son.
No,
No, he got daughters too.
Yeah,
They look like him too.
yeah. Jordan has a
She
daughter.
She her daddy's son.
She went into a Rolls Royce dealership,
Started acting.
unassuming. Unassuming. Dressed regular, I guess. But she came back with Daddy Warbucks, and because they put her out.
If I was the owner of that place,
You
I would have put her out too.
You don't know what she looks
I
like.
don't care.
Your man just.
I don't care.
Listen,
I don't care.
I need a nigga like him around me to fuel
I do
the
not
fire.
care.
Duh.
I don't care.
He hates niggas. It's perfect for me.
I don't hate niggas. I
It's
hate
perfect
nigga
for me.
shit.
It's
And
perfect.
I don't care.
So I know he
What
hates
would
me.
you-
I need him to fuel my fire, bro.
I don't
he's
hate
the
him.
perfect. He's the perfect arch nemesis and shit, yo.
What would you? First of all, the young lady.
Get off my showroom.
The young
Why?
lady does not look.
Why?
I don't know what looks like Jordan looks like, but
He got a couple daughters. A couple of them look like him.
Oh, she got
In
a
the
long
face.
face like him.
she got. A
Let me
long
see that.
face.
Let me see that picture.
She got a long.
I would
face.
date her though. I would try to holler
Oh,
her.
my- yeah, I'm sure you would.
She
But-
looks-
No, not that. No,
But there's another
even
one that looks
before
like
I knew
him.
who she was, I would have tried to date her.
But
Now
to
Eddie Murphy
that,
daughters. Now we're talking.
To that, she was.
I'm trying to keep up a certain image here, right? This is how I sell these cars, right? By keeping up a certain image, right? So, if you coming to buy a Rolls Royce, you show up. Would you show up to an interview?
It's not. I'm not.
No,
Dress
kinda,
for what you want to be.
are.
But
No,
if you,
kinda
but
are.
no, but
Buying
no,
a
no,
Rolls
hold on,
Royce, you
stop,
kinda are.
stop this. Let me hold on. Rich people dress how the fuck they want, Rube.
very much so.
Especially a person that can afford a Rolls Royce.
Give a fuck.
So J. Cole walk into a Rolls Royce dealership. I feel like they should fucking throw him out like Jazz from the Fresh Prince.
First of all,
Like
I
Jazz
don't
from the
need-
Fresh
first of
Prince.
all-
That's how they should throw that nigga out. Continue.
First of all,
That nigga dressed like Adam Sandler. The black Adam Sandler. That nigga got you see they just streamed
Number
from
one.
Dreamville. He had a FUBU jersey on with
There's nothing wrong with FUBU.
First of all, number one, that nigga got a more recognizable face than, her. Nobody knew that was
Nobody knew that, but to that, what is there to say about you obviously?
If I'm a business owner, I have the right to.
You do.
I have the right to allow who and what, and I have a right to do that.
You do. But obviously you made a mistake this time.
Okay, then that's just one sale I won't get.
But to that, and to what you said about certain people dress the way they want to dress, I seen a tactic about yachts.
But I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it didn't go as cut and dry. Like he just.
Well, I mean, I'm going off the story. I'm going off the story.
It probably wasn't that cut and dry. Right? She probably went in there, ran the mouth or whatever.
No,
now you put a little sauce on it. Now you put a little sauce on it.
She could have tried to put a large amount of money down, and they like, ho.
Where did it get?
And on top of that, it's on me. First of all, to sell these cars, I work with banks, right?
Yeah.
And you can't just show up with a suitcase full of money and expect me. Hold on.
I don't think Michael Jordan's daughter shows up with a suitcase.
No, I'm not saying she did. No, I'm not saying she did. But it's gonna take some kind of looking into. Like that's just what it is.
But to that, and even with the banking thing, then you go to get references. When she puts down the references, Michael Jeffrey Jordan, that's undisputable. And she puts down
and then you read it and you're like, Michael Jordan. This is a scam.
Malaysia Jordan. I don't know what the girl's name is. Malaysia Jordan. Michael. How do you You can't like. What I'm saying is, and we had this conversation off. We had this conversation last week off air.
All right, go ahead.
Racism or prejudging can be expensive. The same thing happened with Shaq.
Well,
and he came back and bought.
And like I said, that would be one sale that I just didn't make.
But
now, let me ask you a question. You own an upscale restaurant.
Okay.
You got a certain type of clientele that eats at your restaurant. White, black, purple, it don't matter. It could be Barney, right? Okay. So you got this certain clientele. Now, this woman walks in with a see-through dress on. Mm-hmm. Would you want that type of at your establishment?
The reason why I don't think that is
you can see she got the pasties on.
Yeah,
you got the sheen. You got the pasties on.
It says GTD, Tommy. What does GTD stand for? Say, what's your answer, man? Do you let her in or not?
Do I let her in? Restaurants are different than buying a car. That's a fact. Restaurants are could you not?
What does GTD
listen,
stand for?
Listen,
I don't know what that is.
Got the draws. I don't know how you didn't know that, but I'm gonna get the T-shirt. I'm literally about to buy the T-shirt. But you see, obviously I'm a Martin fan. You can see my shirt now. But to that, once again, we could be playing pickup.
Comedic genius.
Yeah, whatever.
Sorry, man.
We could be playing pickup on the West Side Highway at one of those high-end basketball camps or whatever, and walking with basketball shorts to one of the Porsche dealerships or one of the Rolls-Royce dealerships, and coming from there and being able to make a purchase. You intently going to go get something to eat, which means you got dressed for something or whatever, or you knew that.
I'm talking strictly. This is dress code, is what I'm saying.
Once again,
now wait,
so
hold on.
But you going to I'm saying is going to a restaurant that has a dress code, as opposed to a car dealership where you're assuming something.
He didn't ask me that question.
Listen, I made. Hold on. Now I'm the owner, right? I let her in. She eat or whatever, right? I made $1,500 off her plate. Mm-hmm. Right, but in doing so, I lose $10,000 worth of customers because now
don't nobody want to bring that. Yeah.
Now who won?
Once again, I would not have let her. I said I wouldn't let her in.
Okay.
But a dealership where you can walk in, you might walk in and anything from a suit to basketball shorts. You could be coming from swimming.
Now,
as opposed to a restaurant that has a dress
I need
code.
to find out exactly what happened here, but there's a number of things that could have happened here.
Very much so.
She could have easily just got offended because she knows she's Jordan's daughter, and I'm gonna go tell my dad.
Why you get to make these wild assumptions
I'm just saying
all the
it
time?
could have happened. I'm not saying that it did. I'm saying it could have happened, and if you know already if you that kind of person, let's just put yourself in that situation, and you walk in with basketball shorts, and the dude tell you, get the hell out of my showroom or whatever, but you got the money or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. You're gonna feel some type of way, and you're gonna start going off at the mouth. It's come on.
To tell you the truth, I don't have the money to buy a Rolls Royce.
Normally, what you do in that situation, you call them ahead of time.
You can do now. To that,
what you supposed to call and say, hey, I'm Michael Jordan's daughter, I'm coming down for a Rolls
She
Royce?
could
be just window shopping.
Yes,
it could have just been an impulse.
You have to do that.
How about
you have to do that?
Listen.
First of all, you Michael Jordan's daughter. You don't got no job, so you can call ahead.
You don't know she got a job.
She ain't got no goddamn job. She not working.
Stop. He is making up for last week.
You just think all his kids is fuck ups, huh?
You don't gotta be a fuck up. You just don't have to work.
He going hard today. He's going with a gusto today.
You just don't have to. You don't have to fucking work.
Let him.
Right? Look.
Get that off his chest.
Look. If I am a millionaire and I'm window shopping, I know where I'm going ahead of time.
Jordan's on the billionaires list.
That's not the point I'm trying to make. Billionaire, millionaire is not the point I'm trying to make.
Okay.
The point is that I'm rich, right? The point is that I got time to call ahead and say, look, I'm blah, 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 and my account is blah, 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 blah. And on the time, before I get there, they're already looking into all my shit or whatever. And then when I get there, dressed in however I want to be dressed in, come on in, Mr. So-and-so, blah, blah, blah. Take a look at this, Mr. So-and-so, blah, blah, blah.
But
you gotta know where you're going, man.
But you should be able to traverse. You should be able to go wherever.
Fair is a place where they judge pigs.
I didn't say fair.
Fair is a price to pay to go somewhere.
Yeah, very much so. Now,
the price to pay was to call ahead of time and say I'm coming. And it's not a big price to pay.
Now, I bet you this. Now, if they
why you gotta do that though? Like, why you can't like? I wouldn't like if I'm like
because certain places with a certain kind of attitude
have to do that, bro.
Run,
you shouldn't have no, bro. If I'm going to buy something, bro, if I'm a consumer,
that's
somewhere,
why I brought up the upscale restaurant.
But that's what I'm saying. If I'm a consumer, period, bro. I'm doing you a favor by buying something from here, from your establishment, because I can go to another establishment. So why not treat me like a paying customer? Fuck all that calling ahead celebrity shit. His daughter's not technically a celebrity. She just so happened to be his daughter. And she got money. She's fucking rich. So why can't she walk in there the same way another rich white lady or somebody else will walk in there?
Because you're coming to buy my shit.
So why? But nigga, you still don't got to be by appointment.
You coming to buy my shit? That's what I want.
Yeah,
Fuck you.
No, that's not. I don't think that's their policy though.
How do you know that's not their policy? That probably is their policy.
No. Not now.
There was a time when you couldn't buy a Porsche unless you had 4 other ones.
No, that's a certain kind of Porsche. That's a certain kind of Porsche. That's not a 911. That's not a 911. If you got right now, it's 240. I just watched Doug Merrill on a new one, hybrid one, sexy.
We don't want to have a Porsche to be here.
I love Porsches.
Yeah, but to that, no, you were you're talking about, which if you know Porsches, then you know you're talking about a certain one. Not you could walk in and get
the 911 GT3.
Yeah. But they're up to the GT4 at this point. We got
GT4, GT3, whatever.
What I'm saying to you,
4 other ones to even talk to the people.
Yeah, but that's for that one. If you just want the Targa, you could go in there and buy a Targa.
If you want a boxer, you could go get a boxer. If I want the 4-door one, I could go get it.
They still gonna check your credit.
Yeah, very much so.
But you don't need 3 other ones.
But she's coming to buy a Bentley. A Bentley is not a Porsche.
A Rolls Royce.
Rolls Royce.
But to all of that, the fact that now, I don't know. It just so happens that she is black. I don't know where. But it's there because you know what? People get vetted on sitting in a first class seat. People get all types of questions. How'd you get that? Are you some kind of athlete? there was.
I've rolled first class and I never got vetted.
And you might not have. I've been in first class 2 times. I haven't, but I don't say. But I'm not going to discredit the stories of one of the biggest lawyers that was in Detroit.
I'll sign autographs
in
first class.
He said, Joe. Somebody said, "How'd you get this seat? Were you a basketball player?" He said, "I'm the biggest drug dealer." Yeah, I don't have to.
That's
I don't
a passenger though.
Yeah, but
They thought I was a football player.
I don't have to. I don't have to
player.
subscribe to your vetting of what I got going on all the time. That's BS. That's BS, Ruben.
Listen,
I get it. That's BS.
Listen, bro.
You don't want to hear that part, but it's BS.
I signed 4 autographs for white people because I was sitting in first class and they thought I was.
They thought you were who?
They thought I played for the fucking the Chargers. They thought I was a
Who
football
did they
player.
think that you were though?
I don't know.
Who did you sign?
My name.
You signed Ron Jeremy?
That's funny.
Horrible.
They was like the Chargers, right?
Listen,
wait,
stop.
stop. They was like
for being that way.
They was like the
That's their fault.
Chargers, right? I said no, the
Who's
Redskins.
racist?
Listen.
Who's racist?
Listen.
That's
I said
they
they was
racist
like
for
the
that.
Chargers, right?
It's
I'm
bigot.
like
Oh,
no,
bigot,
the
right?
Redskins. They was like I knew it. I was like, can you sign this short?
That's hard.
I mean, that's on them if they got some bullshit signature because they want to be
That is,
that's
horrible.
a bigot at that time.
That's horrible. That's
I love it.
I'm sure you do.
I love it.
I'm sure you
like,
enjoy
out
it.
of all the things they thought I was a football player, I'm
Out of
like, all right,
I'll go. You like it? I love it.
okay.
You like it? I love it. I did want to touch on this. On Indeed, on hard news stories. I did see more about the young man that is being charged as an adult in the slaying of the cop in Newark. They're trying to move forward with charging him as an adult. Any thoughts on that?
He shot the cop before he shot the cop in the head before he got out the car. You going down, man? That's crazy.
Allegedly.
Okay. No, okay. 14 years old, correct?
Well, what they're gonna do is
Did they get a
gonna
reason?
No.
That's-
That's
14 years old. But what they're gonna
14
do
years
is
old.
they're
Get a
gonna
reason
keep
why?
him. They're gonna keep him in juvie till he's 18, and then they're gonna.
He hasn't gone to court yet.
That's what they're gonna do, though.
Yeah, he still has to go to court. Let's
That's
not
what they
let's
gonna
not
do.
let's not litigate it just yet. He hasn't gone to court.
He's not
yet.
walking this earth again. Like he's not going. He's not outside. Like he's not getting away with this.
Once again, let's not litigate this. I mean, and in the event that he doesn't, there are cases where people who have killed cops have not served life. There are definitely cases. There's definitely cases. But to that, I mean, like I said, 14 years old, any thoughts? Being charged as an adult. Should he be charged as a juvenile? Should he be charged as an adult? What are your thoughts on the situation?
He made adult choices right there. So.
He did. He did. And as we talked when we talked about firearms
and
2
what
weeks
happens,
ago.
and you know what the courts are. It probably in the paperwork, and we won't know because it's going to be deep in the paperwork. They're going to look at, yo, you're missing some kind of empathy. Like there's something missing in your head. Like to be at 14 doing that shit.
Nah.
There's something missing. You
Well,
can't
the
be
brain isn't
walking
fully
the streets.
developed at 14
Very
anyway,
much
right?
so. To what he
The
just
empathy.
said.
The empathy is.
That's not accurate.
Oh shit.
No. I'm not trying to be funny. No, it's
Talking
not
to that guy
accurate.
that works with kids.
It's
All right, so
So
the nigga could go off and kill.
So the kid-
a kid could go off and kill 1,000 people, but he 14, so he 14. Let him go.
that's not what I said though. You went to the complete extreme of something else. No, but you said about him developing empathy. What you might think when we are talking about, and this does tie into the Kai Cenat thing, you could think that these video games and this stuff like that, you might have blurred reality. I'm not saying it's right, but
So you thought he played GTA 5 and was like, yo.
no, but your understanding as an adult man and you thinking about this affects not only this person, what they won't do no more, their family, how this brings an end to all things.
What
Your
about the
under-
victim?
Well, hold on for a second. Your understanding of that as an adult is not necessarily that of a 14-year-old. Now, I'm not defending the 14-year-old at all because we had the conversation about firearms. I don't think that they belong in the hand. One, they're not for show. They're instruments of death. But two, what he said, he hasn't fully developed empathy yet.
So if you was the judge, what would you do?
It hasn't gone to court yet. I mean,
I'm saying, pretend you the judge and it's on your desk. What are you gonna do?
I mean, once again, it hasn't been litigated. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if we are talking.
What
about...
does GTD stand for, Tommy?
I can't do that. What if we talking about? What if it is brought up that we talking about a kid who is in a situation where they are, they're in the middle of a beef. It's a very violent situation.
I have a question on this. Did any news come out as to why this boy did this to this cop? I don't know much about it. That's why I'm not speaking on it.
Yeah, no, it's still developing.
Okay, so we don't. Okay,
we don't know. Like I said, that's why I'm asking what your thoughts is. I mean, but I think it's something that I would like to follow because I very much so do not.
I need more information right now. I need more information.
I believe you got a computer right there, and we need to see it as it develops. I'm not saying that he should get off. I'm not saying that he shouldn't go to jail, do a day or two in jail. I'm not saying he shouldn't be locked up for life. I don't know. I'm not trying to litigate it right now.
I'm just asking you. I'm not asking you to be Johnny Cochran. I'm just asking.
I mean, Johnny Cochran did it.
No. I'm just asking you.
Did OJ do it?
What I'm gonna say is what OJ is. Hold on. Listen. They chased OJ in a pro white Bronco.
I don't know if it was pearl white, but I like where you're going.
In a pearl white Bronco and didn't find not one smudge of blood. So
can I say something? Can I add to this?
Yes.
Hold on. When they found that woman, her neck was slit from ear to ear. They call it a Colombian necktie.
Did OJ do it? You said you want to say
No,
something?
that's what I was gonna say.
And they didn't find a smudge of blood on that Bronco. So I find it hard to believe that. I kind of find it hard to believe that he kind of did all of that and then got into a pearl white Bronco and they find no blood.
Where did you get? Did you?
It was.
I don't think the interior was white. The interior wasn't white.
Were you shopping for a car? You in the last color exterior pearl white? So you're just gonna go that kind of pearl white?
That shit was white as hell.
But what makes it pearl? What do you think? like where did you pull this pearl part out? What do you think? Oh, the OJ thing.
Well,
did OJ do it?
It's not possible for him one by himself to have pulled off this procedure. That's like a mob procedure, is what they basically saying, right?
And you know what a Colombian necktie
is?
It's
basically when they slit your throat and pull your tongue through the throat.
That's a Colombian necktie.
I don't think OJ hated her that much to have wanted to do that to both of them.
Now
had that much time.
There was rumors that Ron Goldman was selling that white.
Yep, and he had the whole mob. He owed the money or some shit like that.
I don't know about Ron Goldman.
It's a doc. It's a doc on Netflix.
I've seen a couple of them. Yeah, I know Ron Goldman's father's mustache is out of control.
It's very racist. He has a racist mustache.
He has a very racist mustache. But what I will say about my man Oj, the Juice, to have done that, to have stabbed up so much, and I'm not talking about the Bronco. What I'm talking about is he was when he was taken into custody, immediately after, he had like 2 drops of blood on him. Stabbings don't work like that with 2 drops of blood. So I'm not saying he did or he did not, but you know the
it's hard to believe that he did.
The more that you get into some of this stuff, it gets a little
funky.
It gets a little confusing. It doesn't it doesn't seem like a direct line in things.
Next topic, man.
But speaking of stabbings, Ruben didn't get to talk too much about the situation in Texas.
That boy can't claim self-defense.
How can he not?
Because he wasn't supposed to have a weapon.
What does that do? That
does not determine whether he... Did you see the new clip I sent, Abe? About the guy that said he witnessed it?
Yes.
You wasn't supposed to have a weapon.
What do you think about that?
Can't, in self-defense, especially in Texas, you can't, like, in Texas, if hold on, now hear me out. If I shove you
You can't whip
I'm
out your gun and
brainless.
shoot me in the
If you
face.
shove me, you
They're gonna
famous.
take.
What's a nigga to do?
They're gonna pin murder on you.
My thing, first, I just want to deal with the first part of things. First, you said because he had a knife on him, he can't claim. What in the world?
Because
so if
you
gotta-
knowingly brought a knife to a place where you know you can't have a knife. It's called
It's like bringing a
premeditation.
knife to a gunfight,
No,
pinned to a
that-
test,
first of
just
all,
in the line of fire with your thin ass vest.
To what you just said, once again, you're litigating things.
I mean, you can look it up. That's what it says.
Once again, you are litigating things. If he had the knife and he never brought it out, he punched him in the face. That still is not defending himself.
That would be more along the lines of self-defense. Yes.
But if you and once again, I'm taking this out of the courts. If you attacked me or made me feel threatened, which when we had this conversation about guns, you said don't make me feel threatened. Obviously, at some point, this young man felt threatened.
Hey, but hold on. From the new clip that I sent you guys, the guy said that he was being jumped.
He was being jumped. Now,
by him and his brother.
You did with
you got hold on. You got one guy that says that against 74 other people that say he wasn't being jumped.
Where was to that? That is very subjective. Because was the meet at the twin school?
No, the meet was on public property,
in which you can't have a weapon anyway.
It could have been.
It wasn't a school. It wasn't a school event.
You still can't. You still cannot have a weapon.
According to that video.
But to that, I don't think we.
I would love you to play that clip. Actually,
I'm not arguing whether you can or cannot have. Obviously, he was not supposed to have a knife there.
Play that full clip, man.
That's not what we're talking about.
Play
That's not funny. That's not what we're talking.
Get to the clip real quick, eh? So basically, so we can have more context in this, because this is now another side. Let's just play devil's advocate and say this. Maybe this did happen. I'm just curious, because I don't think everybody heard the full clip in its entirety. It should be right there in your inbox on Instagram. Because I don't think everybody heard it in its entirety. It gotta be like right there.
Anthony murder case came forward to make a statement, and we missed a lot about the whole incident. At the time of the incident, there should have been many students around. Let's listen to what he said.
It was raining. They got rained out like crazy bad. Everybody trying to get back to their cars or get in, places where they, wouldn't get all extra wet. Dude was sitting up under the tent, right? He was on his phone, right? My daughters was up under the same goddamn tent. Yeah. So I'm paying attention to my kids, but at the same time, they're in the same vicinity, so I'm watching everything going on around it, because I'm there for my children. So dude walks up, McKellen, bro, he wasn't even under the tent at the time. They came from a whole separate tent and walked over there. They intentionally went over there to this kid, man. Dude was sitting there on his phone just trying to get dry. You feel me? One thing went from another. They grabbed this man and they tried to punch on dude. Dude went in his bag and they went to try to jump this dude and punch on this dude, man. And he protected himself, dude. That's what happened. Yeah, it wasn't just one. It was both of them, bro. Austin, the dude that got unalive, and his brother physically went over there to intentionally. It's not to the point that he brought a knife. For one, it wasn't on school property. The school is at least 5 to 10 miles away. It was community track meet, bruh. It wasn't a school track meet.
None of that matters. All of it, 80% of what he said did not matter.
I don't know why you could say it doesn't matter, but this is what
I will say. First of all, there's bullies. First of all, bullies happen every day of the week, bro. That don't mean you get stabbed to death.
No, it doesn't.
Hold on. That's number one. Number two, in public events like that, in public spaces, you can't have a weapon, right? You can't.
No, that's not accurate, bro.
It is accurate.
It's not accurate.
You look it up. It's in Texas law. You can't.
So you trying to tell me in an open carry state like Texas?
Yes. There's places where you cannot carry.
But to that, I guess better stated what I'm trying to say is, if it's not posted, right? No, right? Because we're talking about it.
You won't find a park or where this community track meet was at. You won't find a park in Texas where this community track where it's not posted.
Oh, I don't know, but what I'm trying to say, what I'm framing is you were saying you can't. Texas is an open carry state, so in the event that it is not documented for you to like, yo, you are in violation of, because that's what it's gonna say, whatever. If you bring a weapon on here, if that's the case, that's the case. But just to put out, oh no, you can't. No, Texas, you can walk around with your gun swinging.
You can Texas, yes. Texas is an open carry state,
Yeah.
yes. But there are defined, and because Texas is an open carry state,
very much so.
hold on, let me finish. Because it's open carry state, it's clearly posted where you cannot have a weapon because it's open carry. So they have more of a responsibility to post it so everybody can see where you cannot.
Yeah. Okay. So
on number 2. He was sitting someplace where he shouldn't have been sitting.
How?
Because you on the opposite side of the team.
If
you play for the Giants, you cannot chill on the side of the Redskins.
What?
You can't.
To what he just said. If it is raining and I'm trying to get cover because
you leave.
If the track meet is suspended and I'm just looking for cover, then I'm looking for cover. As to what we just heard, he said he was found somewhere under a tent because of the rain. Is that not what I just? So to that. And then you get 2 kids, which, and I mean this, it does not mean that because these kids were bullies, that it should have been death. But anybody who talks to siblings, much less twins, do I think one of them was just over there acting alone? Now I'm speculating a little bit, but you know that if it's twins, they probably was on some BS. And to that, once again, that does not mean that one of them should have been stabbed to death. That does mean that if he did have a knife where he was not supposed to have a knife, I'm with all of that.
So when they started talking shit to him, hold on, and I'll give you that. So when they started talking shit to him, he said, touch me and see what happens.
Very much so.
That's premeditation.
Oh, well, now we're definitely in the legal minutia of this, which okay, cool.
I know a girl named Manushka.
I don't believe that.
I swear to God.
I don't.
Why would somebody name
cut the malarkey?
I swear.
Cut the malarkey. But to that, once again,
it's unfortunate what happened.
Very much so. But what I'm not going to do is sit here and condemn or put a murder charge on this kid without everything being. No, he just blanket wrong. I think he does have a right to. He has a right to be in some space. He has a right to protect himself. How he protected himself, I think that's where we're going to find out.
And that's where it falls apart.
Yeah, well, once again, that is what, because hey, look, as we just were talking about with OJ, look, you can find you a lawyer that can fix it up. Right there, you can find you a lawyer. Now, who knows? But you can find you a lawyer that could doctor. And to that, excuse me, because I'm making a little light of it, and I'm not being. I'm making a little light of it.
What I'm
but
saying
the truth is this is the reason why the courts are in play.
And what the courts are going to judge on.
When did this guy works for public service? When did he get his law degree? This guy passed the bar.
I'm going. There's only 1 or 2 things they can judge on, bro. Was this self-defense or was it not?
Okay. I mean, we shall see.
I hope somewhere there's some film of this, and that'll just.
All it's gonna show is 2 white people,
approaching a black
approaching them, and bullying them.
Okay.
I gave you that. I gave you that. But again,
as in the great words of Samuel L. Jackson in A Time to Kill.
No. Stop right there. Because you about to say some dumbass shit that do not make no sense.
You gonna let him just down talk you like that?
Because you about to say some shit and then see the whole fucking story. No, it don't work like that, nigga.
You gonna let him tell you what to do?
What do you guys remember the movie? Samuel was on the jury stand.
Yeah.
Because he murked the guy.
Hang that nigga now.
Yeah, he should die. And I hope he burned in hell.
I know exactly where you were going with that.
Amen.
And that I do not believe.
Do the crime, get the time.
Yeah, but you would not, like, again, and if this was 2 black kids, y'all would not give 2 shits.
That's not
If they was
accurate.
bullying, that's not
Not-
true. If they was
That's
bullying,
not
they
accurate. That is
if
not
they was
accurate
bullying,
at all.
if they was bullying, they
That's
get
not
what they
accurate.
deserve. And you know what? It's some bullies that I know that got what they deserved.
All right.
Next topic.
That is not.
Next topic.
That's not accurate. I can't tell you that I would. If it was just 2 kids, I don't think anybody, especially not no kids. I think kids are jerks.
I'm not trying to even make it a racial thing.
You did.
I'm not
I
trying
didn't mention
to.
anybody's color.
What I'm saying is, it's going to turn into that because of the optics of it all.
Very much so.
But it doesn't have to be turned into that.
But this is not just a right and wrong is wrong thing though. This is not right and
It's
wrong
more
is
wrong
wrong.
than it was right.
On whose behalf?
Say two wrongs don't make it
died?
right. And if
If I punched you in your face, then I'm
If
more wrong.
you punch me in my face and I turn around and I stab you in your heart, I'm going to jail.
No, if you all were trying to jump me and I was in fear,
I'm going to
and
jail.
I'm in fear of my life, then we'll let it play out in the courts.
You're going to jail. It's called proportion, bro.
Not
That's how
necessarily.
me like them with
you
the right
can't-
proportion. I like them proportioned.
They had a case. They had a case where
pum pum
They had a
proportion.
case where a black couple pulled into a handicap spot.
Yeah.
The man ran into the store, and they pulled into the handicap spot because the man just ran into the store or whatever, right? The white man came out, started yelling at the black lady for parking in the handicap spot. They arguing back and forth. The black man, her husband, comes out, pushes the white man. The white man goes on the floor, takes out his gun, and murders him.
Yeah, he had order.
They got him up out of there.
Yeah,
There was
they
no
should.
self-defense in this case.
Yeah, there wasn't.
Because you can't. It's proportional retaliation.
But that's not this. But yeah, there wasn't. But since you made mention, so if you ever see like when you go to like wherever one of these Target, Walmart, whatever, and you see like a bunch of like handicap spots open, do you like just take the like one of those?
No.
You don't do you?
Yeah, he do.
You know why? The reason why I asked is I literally think to myself, what they about to have a meeting? It's
too many.
Like it's too many open spots. I can have one.
I didn't say anything, guys.
He said it's too many. It's too many.
I'm bugging. All right, whatever. All right.
I'm not saying you bugging, but
like
what I'm saying
if
is,
it's like 6 of them back to back, what they about to have a meeting? Like
by law, they supposed to have a certain amount based on how many people could fit in the store.
for the meeting?
I'm just saying. Well,
They got a club.
Argue with New Jersey about that because they made it a
Anywho,
stipulation.
I just put that out there just because you brought up the
I'm just
whatever.
saying. I'm
Whatever.
just saying.
You guys are the jerks.
Shout out to the
It
handicapped
is.
people, man.
But to that, did anybody see the helicopter?
That shit was crazy. Now,
Well, not only was it a helicopter, there were several planes as well. There was a plane over Elizabeth. I'm sure I sent it to you. I put it on my thing.
there was another plane in Florida.
Then there was another plane in Florida. Yeah.
Then there was this helicopter shit.
Yeah.
Now the helicopter shit, it just
The
people
fucking
just-
propeller came off.
It just came
Is
off.
that what
The top propeller came off, and that's why it fell straight down.
There's a special.
The helicopter landed before the propeller.
There's a special gear
So
that's
look.
in the
Look,
propeller.
so the joint's spinning.
Yeah.
The helicopter's falling. That shit's still in the air, and it's fell
Hold
after.
on. Hey, there's a special gear that's in the helicopter, or whatever, that when it rotates around like a planetary gear. I feel like
planetary
the maintenance wasn't kept up on it like it was supposed to, and it broke apart. Now, whether that was because of the owner of the company being cheap and not having a
I
right.
thought he was gonna say DI.
He
No, it was black pilots, but I'm not saying
he told,
it was
He told me
DEI.
a DEI hire behind, when we discussed it. Go ahead.
Yes, there was black pilots, but that doesn't mean DEI doesn't mean automatic black people.
I said that, but okay.
When the whole case when DEI when
I derailed you. I
hold
that
on,
was
hold
on
on.
purpose.
I just think
let's go back to.
I just think that the
DEI is
maintenance-
just anti-affirmative action. That's it.
we
no
can,
DEI is affirmative action.
Go ahead.
It's whatever.
the plane, the helicopter. I shouldn't have did that. I did that on
It
purpose.
just I don't think the maintenance was kept up like it was supposed to, and the shit fell apart.
and 6 lives was lost behind this thing. And then
You know who's live? You know who was in that? Who knows the
A
passengers in
billionaire.
there? Yeah. It was
and you know
one
all
of the
these billionaires
CEOs,
dying in these
one of the
plane accidents.
CEOs of Siemens. You know,
furniture?
No,
No.
not. Siemens is a they make like industrial they make industrial parts like
I know what you're talking about,
electric
yeah.
parts, like you know what I'm saying, like
I know what
those-
you're talking about.
the big electric regulators that regulate all the power. They make these big ass fuses that work on an industrial
And
level.
were they going?
The Spanish, he was the CEO of the Siemens in Spain,
yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
And he was taking his family out on to see the New York
It
skyline.
was like the kid's birthday or something
Yeah.
too.
Wow.
And they hit that water, and that's like hitting the water at that height. It's like
Yo,
concrete.
so you know you can see like on Instagram where people were posting, and people were seeing the shoes, like kids' shoes sweeping. The lady's purse.
Wash the shore.
Wash the shore. Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. And it's just crazy that we see shit like that real time. But I was just saying, just notice how many of those billionaire type people didn't pass in the past couple years via these small plane or helicopter accidents. It's a lot.
I mean,
Because you know it's like a thing going around where they're saying like these billionaires are faking their deaths and stuff like that. So
that I knew nothing about.
Y'all don't Rube, you know about it. You don't subscribe to that theory.
I don't go that deep into the. I don't.
Why not though?
Because
look how the market is right now, right? Niggas is losing their
I don't know,
asses.
wait.
No, think about it, bro. Niggas losing their asses right now. Look how much Elon and Bezos and all them lost in that one day.
They're gonna make the money back.
I know, but look at how much they lost in that one day.
Yeah, they're gonna make it back.
They lost billions
They're gonna make it back.
in one day. Elon, Bezos, and somebody else big. They lost like a combine of like 70 something stupid.
I mean, I could believe it,
It was
but
up to almost $1 trillion that
I mean, but
they collectively lost.
and to that,
I can see it, man. Other
The-
guys
the
probably
plot-
lost less.
the-
Kill himself for less, bro.
the plot would be crazy, especially if you're dragging kids into it, and then other people much more kids into this type of thing. That would be wild. But if it is what it is on its face, these are tragedies, and these are
Exactly.
and these are bad things. When you saying how often that happen, I just was watching the Kobe doc, the CNN's Kobe's doc, which I mean, I won't say obviously, but
He was on the road to $1 billion.
But I doubt that is an artificial thing. I mean, you know, because he's probably
I ain't gonna say nothing about that.
because he I guess to all of these as of recent, he's probably the most famous figure. Would you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so, and that him, his daughter, the effects it had, the me, you know, Tracy McGrady's broken up about. I mean, so many people broken up about it. Yeah. So, I mean, that's the thing.
As far as the Kobe thing go, if the pilot chose to fly, but the pilot was said that it wasn't a good idea to.
Something about the weather conditions, right?
About the weather conditions. So, you know, I mean, if I was Kobe, the pilot say don't do it, I was all right, whatever. I don't need to get to this place that fast.
Or you could have been Kobe and said, here's an extra 10,000, get us there.
It's not worth your life.
I mean, but we know that now.
Excuse me.
I mean, yeah, because
How many times he could have possibly did that before?
Nobody's thinking like.
Think how many times he could have did that before, bro. Think about it. You don't think they do that? Yo, come on, man. Come on, let's get it.
I mean, and
If I'm a pilot, I got responsibility.
no, his integrity should You would think that the integrity of the pilot would say, "Nah, we're not doing this today."
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't think.
But he also, it's Kobe. Fuck it.
Nah,
It's Kobe, bro.
But to that, I guess my thing to that is,
And I want to keep this train going too.
I do, but at this,
Right into a mountain.
But to that, I don't think that you should have. I don't think that your professional integrity should be up for sale, not for $10,000. Even if that's one of those things where it ain't the 99 times it worked, it's the one time that it didn't.
There's a question I want to ask, and I don't know.
Go ahead and ask.
It's too tight. It's too
Go
tight.
ahead and ask.
Pause.
I don't. Yeah, that's a little
All
aggressive.
right, look. All right.
Yeah, she was overweight. I still never.
Cause I'm a gremlin.
Less, and I still eat it. Rude. We shouldn't fly today. It's too foggy. The weather conditions ain't right. Here's 10 grand. Okay. Crash and burn.
Who fault was that?
What if he did that 12 times before nothing happened?
That's what I'm saying. You know who I want? Do you know who I want? I want Denzel Washington in that movie. That movie, bro. Yeah, I want Denzel Washington when he turned the airplane upside down.
They had mad professional pilots up there like nowhere that shit's.
I want Denzel.
That just happened in Toronto, bro.
And I want him high.
That really happened.
They flew up.
And I want Denzel high.
He flipped that shit upside down in Toronto.
Coming back on.
That happened in Toronto in the snow, nigga. A couple months ago. That really happened, bro. That pilot wasn't drunk.
They all died on the runway.
No, they did not. They all lived. What are you talking about?
It
happened in Toronto. The plane landed upside fucking down in Toronto. It happened maybe 3 months ago. Please look it up. Please, Delta flight to Toronto lands upside down. Type it in your Chrome.
Always, and while we're doing this, that one hire, that one plane with the black pilot, all the rest of these planes have been going now have definitely all been white men. That's a fact.
I was gonna.
That's a fact.
God rest dead. I was gonna segue. Kobe name was also in something else this week. I don't even know if we want to touch it.
The aircraft rolled. It didn't land upside down. It rolled and flipped upside down.
That's the flight technique that Denzel Washington used.
That's not the same. What he's talking about. There's no way you land in a plane upside down.
Bro, the plane landed upside down.
Did you see the movie
It rolled upside down.
This is really about the greatness of Denzel Washington. He's the best. Yeah.
Anyway.
What about Flight?
What happened was Chopper from the band.
It's Chopper from the band's been out of control.
No. Yo, do you know what he's
Stephen J? But what?
Now let me blow your mind. Yo. Chopper from the band said he hit Eve.
Yeah. I thought that was so corny. I thought that was so corny because you got a problem with Stevie J. Why would you drag whether it's true or it's not true? Why would you drag somebody else?
That be the ace card niggas be wanting to unveil so bad.
Yeah, you got that's corny.
That was a good one to have though. But he also said something about Kobe and Sarah from the band.
I didn't hear that part.
God rest dead. Yeah, it's up there. It's a clip up there too.
Shot.
What?
Cole?
Sarah died?
No.
God rest dead.
You talking about Cole?
Oh.
Yeah, bro.
you go.
Chopper kept catching Sarah in the act every time, boy.
Yeah, he said he
mad. He hit it. He said he caught
her with Diddy.
No, he said he caught her with Diddy, and he caught her rocking Fred ass to sleep with his thumb in his mouth.
Oh,
crazy.
Yeah,
he was the first one to get her actually.
But I wonder about these resurfacing things. This is literally 20 years later.
Everybody got stories, Abe. You got
stories
I get from back in the day.
I get it, but 20 years later,
I'm entertained thoroughly, bro, by this shit.
But 20 years later, and you dragging other people into
Quincy
this
Jones,
stuff.
80 years later was going.
I think it's so corny.
Quincy Jones started going crazy. They had to silence Quincy Jones. He was telling it all a couple years ago.
Quincy Jones' asshole was on fire. I mean, and the great
that was corny at Quincy Jones too. It's just funnier because he was,
Oh. Yeah,
but I think but to that
it's corny.
Do you
so there's not so you guys don't got that one guy that let's just say you hit one of his favorite joints or his joint and you just waiting for him to say something to you so you can say that to him. Y'all don't got no people like that.
No, this is my thing. I might okay. Don't worry about it. But this is my thing though. I guess where I think it is corny at is. But y'all put it on the internet, like me, like you take a shot at me, I take a shot at you. We in the street, we hear it. That's one thing. But now I done drag. Who knows? You ain't even with baby girl no more.
You got a whole new situation.
Yeah, like she.
You might could be talking to that situation. Wait, you did what?
I mean, but now if we bumping heads in the street or something like that, and it happened or whatever and whatnot, that's one thing. But if I could rewind it Like if it, like, this is my thing about the internet all the time. This is what I always think about. The WWW, World Wide Web. That's the putting it there.
All I'm getting at is I think but I just think that everybody got that. You know, that one I don't really like this guy. I just so happen to hit his joint by mistake. Oh.
Yeah. No, it happened. Like yeah.
Some people, you know what I'm saying?
It sounded like Chopper knew that was his joint.
I'm sure he did.
So it's kind of corny.
It's corny.
Well, yeah.
I mean, and because the truth of the matter is, like you saying, oh no, it's gonna happen. Like if you think she not,
it's nice. It's just nice to have a big joker in your hand sometimes.
I get that.
That's all I'm saying.
I get that, and I guess you play it when you play it or whatever. But for you to, oh yeah, I thought you said something about us walking to go get cheesecake or whatever and whatnot. Now you go drag this woman. She married, whole nother
that's
situation.
What I'm saying, but
like,
here's the thing.
Like,
that's corny too. But here's the thing that happened in the show. Like he told the niggas to go get the cheesecake.
So what?
So Stevie J was talking about some shit that happened. And it's not like that shit didn't happen behind closed doors.
Like
we all seen it.
Once again, which makes it more corny.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you. Yeah. So now you want to bring
Jay
up?
said was he would have took a cab. That's all.
And that didn't even. And that
I mean,
that's even extra corny now because that wasn't even called for. Like you didn't even have to go that hard.
He wanted to get at him. He wanted to get at him.
That's
my whole point. I was just wondering.
But to that, once again, it's 20 years later.
20 years later,
what you mad at?
Guess what? 20 years later, if you play Hit 'Em Up, it still hit like you heard it in '96.
But you know what? But
I don't care what nobody says.
True, what you saying.
That's why what?
But
it feels the same way every time.
But no. The reason what makes this different is
cut niggas to the core, brother.
But what makes this different is, what you got going on? Oh, so this how you going? This how you gonna try and grab some eyes and attention? You got to drag somebody else. That's what make it corny.
Hey man.
I mean, look, we playing the game, but yeah, like I said, but that's what make it corny. But no, you're right though. I agree. I agree.
When some niggas gotta get cut, they gotta get cut to the core, man. They gotta get cut to the deep. To the white meat to understand sometimes. Just whomever.
No, I'm saying, but who got cut though? The one who took the worst shot is even this one, right?
Well, that might have hurt Stevie. That probably hurt him because he was just all on Vlad TV talking about how he still love Eve and shit. So.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, that hurt. He that stung. He felt that.
I mean, I felt that
one.
He
said he taught Eve how to bathe.
No, what I'm saying
he said he taught that grown woman how to bathe.
Like even that though.
Stevie said that. Stevie said that.
Well, that's some weirdo Stevie shit to say.
I taught her how to take bath.
like he was like yo, Steve Benzino, like these people
with the eucalyptus leaves and all that. But on that same bill, by the way, that Stevie J Vlad that Vlad TV interview was amazing. He played some of the records. I ain't even know he did so many records.
Stevie J.
I ain't know he did Notorious Thugs, Bone and Biggie. I ain't know he did that.
Yeah,
he wrote a lot.
Mad Mariah joints. Yo, I wasn't aware. Yo, I slept.
He probably got rights to all that.
Jodeci
shit. He still got money.
Well, no. Remember, he got wiped out. He even like somebody even got his Grammy. But yeah, he good now. But I think Puff made good with him later on. You know what I'm saying? He alright now, but
25% of the songs out this motherfucker album, so
he and beat making as well. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he did a lot. He did a whole lot.
That's crazy. That's
crazy. Why everybody was suspecting Stevie J of ratting on Diddy.
He didn't. Ain't no way. He was with him the whole time. He was with him up until the time he got locked up and shit. But Vlad TV, Stevie J is good one. What's the other one I said was a good watch, Rue, the other day? Damn. Damon Wayans Club Shay Shay is a good watch.
We talked about that one. I thought that was an interesting one.
There's a couple of some new stuff just dropped lately, so I don't know. I got to get caught up. I kind of was asleep all day yesterday.
Yeah. You said you had a rough week.
Yeah.
What happened?
Went to sleep at 5, didn't wake up till 9.
Well,
stressed out.
It's probably partially stress. Partially when you and I went to ringside on Sunday.
literally the following Sunday.
He's still blaming Ring.
Yeah, I'm still recovering. I'm still recovering.
It's literally
I'm totally
the
still recovering.
following Sunday.
Yo, you just don't understand. I'm still recovering, bro. I don't know what was wrong with me. Yeah.
Ringside was the move, and outside of today, we're not gonna keep on saying what it is. I mean, hey, you can just find us there.
Maybe. Yeah, man down.
You still recovering from Sunday. Look, I was gonna say you were partially Jamaican. You still got on the bucket.
Oh God.
All
All right. So anywho, hope you guys enjoyed today. I think we went over time today, right?
I'm pretty sure we did.
I'm pretty sure they did.
We had a good time today.
Yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the Avon Roop Show.
Yeah,
I'm
we
Sharon. And we're out of here.
You know you can't
Somebody wake up, Chuck.
All right.
I don't know how to stop this shit.